You guys, Alpha Foods, I would never buy their products ever again. Now, I have shown off their products before. I've showed off like their burritos. I loved their pot pies before in the past, and I haven't, eaten them as many, but recently. But I recently got an email from them saying that they partnered with this company called the Every Company. And upon looking into this company, that's when I'm like, you know what? I am never buying Alpha Foods ever again. And here's the reason. So what is this, the Every Company? It's basically a biotech company that produces animal proteins, whether that be like egg whites, and they're planning to do like burgers and beef products and all that sort of stuff, using technology, using, the cells and DNA of animals to make lab-grown meat. So right there, I'm just like, hell no. Okay, that is basically my premise right there. It's like, no. Ain't no way in hell am I ever going to be eating that garbage, okay? Because there is a difference between you eating an animal, you eating a plant-based item, such as, some people like to get all over like Beyond Meat and all these other like pea proteins, and it's like, oh, it's so bad and this and all that sort of stuff and everything. But when you really drill down to it, it's from peas. I mean, it is, a highly processed thing that they go through in order to make it into a plant-based thing. But no, this is taking it to a whole new level. I'm fine with those things in moderation to, a certain degree. And I still do, have pea protein from time to time and everything. The problem is when you're bringing that into a lab setting. Let me do this. That is a big problem. When you're saying that you're using technology to make food, that should be a big red flag there. Food is not technology. Okay? You shouldn't be eating something that is grown in a lab. It's like, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's bio-identical to, the actual animal counterpart that you're eating. It's not the same. I think it should be very clear that it is not the same, because you can take some sort of drug or medication or vitamin or supplement that is synthetic, and it could be identical to what is identified, in your body and everything, but it could actually make problems a lot worse for you as opposed to getting it from some sort of natural source. Because from my perspective, I think that there's a lot of energy behind a lot of the things that we're eating. So if you're eating an animal, and there's a lot of negative energy, you could absorb a lot of that negative energy. But if there's more positive energy, or you put positive energy into it, it could be something very positive. So when you're taking that element out, you're literally removing the, essence and spirit of that product. And then you have something that's grown in a lab. And here is the greatest thing about all of this. Okay, so, that I so strongly, firmly disagree with any of that. You should not be consuming anything that comes from a lab. Okay, I understand, things being manufactured and highly processed and that sort of stuff, which is, still, but it's not like being cultured with DNA of animals in a lab. I mean, cancer, okay, that's just what I'll say. Go ahead. But the other thing is, okay, so here's the other thing that these companies really, especially the Every Company, kind of pride themselves on. The whole reason why they're developing these animal proteins in a lab. Well, number one, I mean, on the surface they say, we need better alternatives than a lot of the plant-based ones that are on the market, because they just don't, they're not the same. You can't get a plant-based egg that's identical to a chicken egg. It's just, you just can't find it. You can find maybe something that's a little similar, but it's not the same. It's just not. So they have to create it in a lab to create it identical. But it makes you wonder, and say, well, why aren't we just eating chicken eggs? Because the whole premise, according to them, of why they're doing this drum roll, climate change. And I'm just like, okay, you're totally bonkers. You've totally lost it. You're absolutely insane if that is even a valid argument that you're even bringing up at this point. And it's just like, okay, these people obviously have some sort of major mental health problem that they think that you making something in a lab is going to be helpful for the environment in any sort of way, climate change, and then make other people's lives much worse by exploding cancer rates, all this other negative thing that will very likely come from people eating this garbage. Okay, so that's why I'm like, I read the email, I looked at the email, I looked at information about this company, I see Alpha Foods partnering with them, and I'm like, you know what, I'm out, and it's like, if you agree with that, and you've bought Alpha Foods products before in the past, my recommendation is stop buying all of them. Don't buy a single other one. It doesn't matter if it's not bioengineered, because that's basically what this is. This is bioengineered food, something that's made in a lab, something that is genetically modified, something that is literally created in a lab. It's like, that should be so obvious for most people. Just like, avoid that. It's like, why are people going to even consider that to be an option? But no, it's because of climate change. Right. Okay. So, yeah, that's what I'm just like, avoid their products entirely. I would never purchase a single one again. And again, I haven't eaten as many, over like the past year or so as I used to. I used to love some of their products, but, I would never buy a single other one again. I would not. So, yeah, that's just my little rant about this. And I'm curious to know what your thoughts are if you ever purchased their products before, and if you're going to be avoiding them past this point. I'm really curious to hear it, because it is just, I'm just shocked. I really am. It's just like, wow. Company that I liked, it's like a lot of these plant-based alternative companies, they're all about this climate change stuff. So that's where I'm just like, yeah, you know what? I probably should avoid a lot of them. The moment you bring climate change into an argument, you immediately lost the argument, because loco. So it's just like, yeah, But anyway, so that is all. You let me know what your thoughts are, and I'll catch you later. Bye bye.